The morning mist clung to the surface of Lake Serenity, a shroud of eerie silence broken only by the mournful cries of a lone loon. Sheriff Brody, his breath misting in the frigid air, shivered as he surveyed the scene. The small fishing boat, its bow half submerged, bobbed ominously amidst the reeds, a grim tableau against the backdrop of the rising sun. Inside, sprawled across the floorboards, lay the body of Emily Carter, her once vibrant face now a grotesque mask of death. Her eyes, wide and staring, held a terror that mirrored the chilling dread that gripped the sheriff. This wasn't just another drowning. There was something unnatural about it. "Anything yet, Deputy?" Brody asked, his voice rough with suppressed fear. Deputy Miller, his face pale and drawn, shook his head. "No signs of foul play, Sheriff. Could be an accident. Maybe a heart attack. Slipped and fell overboard." Brody knelt beside the body, his gaze drawn to Emily's hands, which were clawed, as if reaching for something unseen, something terrifying. "Something's not right, Miller. Look at her face. The fear. It's like she saw something truly horrifying." As the day wore on, the unease only deepened. The medical examiner's report confirmed drowning as the cause of death, but the unnatural contortion of Emily's limbs, the inexplicable fear etched on her face, remained a haunting enigma. Whispers began to circulate amongst the locals, tales of the lake's dark history, of ancient curses and vengeful spirits. Brody, a man of science, scoffed at such superstitions. But as the days turned into weeks, and the unease within the small lakeside community grew, he found himself drawn to the edge of the lake, unable to shake off the feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes following his every move. One night, while patrolling the lakefront, he witnessed a strange phenomenon. A shimmering, emerald light erupted from the depths of the lake, illuminating the surface with an eerie glow. It danced and writhed, a malevolent entity stirring beneath the placid surface. Fear, cold and paralyzing, gripped Brody's heart. He knew then that this was no ordinary drowning. Something ancient, something evil, was stirring in the depths of Lake Serenity. Desperate for answers, Brody sought out the town elder, an old woman named Agnes, known for her knowledge of the lake's lore. Agnes, her eyes clouded with age and a lifetime of secrets, spoke of a time long ago when a young woman, accused of witchcraft, was drowned in the lake. Her spirit, they said, was bound to the lake forever, a vengeful ghost seeking retribution upon those who dared to disturb its peace. Brody, initially skeptical, found himself drawn to the legend. The unnatural fear, the shimmering light, the ancient curse, the pieces were slowly falling into place. He began to investigate the history of the accused witch, delving into dusty archives and interviewing the few remaining descendants. His investigation led him to an old, abandoned cabin deep within the woods, rumored to be the witch's former home. Inside, he discovered a hidden chamber, filled with strange symbols and cryptic writings. As he deciphered the ancient script, a chilling realization dawned upon him. The witch's spirit wasn't simply vengeful. It was hungry. It was feeding on the fear of the living, drawing strength from their terror. Emily Carter, in her final moments, had witnessed this malevolent entity, its terrifying form emerging from the depths of the lake. Brody knew he had to break the curse, to free the trapped spirit and restore peace to the lake. But how? Agnes, her voice frail but resolute, spoke of an ancient ritual, a way to appease the vengeful spirit and release it from its watery prison. The ritual required a sacrifice, a symbolic offering to appease the vengeful spirit. As the full moon cast an ethereal glow over the lake, Brody, armed with the knowledge of the ritual, prepared for the final confrontation. He gathered the townsfolk, their faces etched with fear and apprehension. On the shore of the lake, the air crackled with a palpable sense of dread. Following Agnes's instructions, Brody constructed a small raft, laden with offerings, flowers, herbs, and a piece of his own blood, a symbol of his own sacrifice. As the moon reached its zenith, he pushed the raft into the swirling waters, the eerie green light from the depths illuminating the scene with an otherworldly glow. A collective gasp escaped the onlookers as a monstrous shape emerged from the depths, its form shifting and contorting, a grotesque amalgamation of human and beast. It lunged towards the raft, its eyes burning with malevolent fury. Brody, his heart pounding against his ribs, held his breath, awaiting the inevitable. But instead of attacking, the creature paused, its gaze fixed on the offerings. It seemed to hesitate, its rage slowly subsiding. Then, with a mournful wail that echoed across the lake, it plunged back into the depths, disappearing into the darkness. As the eerie green light faded, a sense of peace, long absent, settled over the lake. The townsfolk, their faces pale but relieved, exchanged weary glances. The curse, it seemed, was broken. Brody, exhausted but triumphant, stood on the shore, watching the moon's reflection dance upon the now tranquil waters. He knew that the lake would never be the same. The memory of that night, of the monstrous entity rising from the depths, would forever haunt his dreams. But he also knew that he had saved his town, freed the trapped spirit, and brought peace back to Lake Serenity. However, as he turned to leave, a shiver ran down his spine. He wasn't alone. A pair of eyes, cold and calculating, watched him from the shadows of the surrounding woods. They were not human eyes. The creature, he realized with a surge of icy dread, was not entirely gone. It had merely retreated, biding its time, waiting for the next opportunity to feed on the fear of the living. And Brody, having witnessed its true power, knew that this was only the beginning. The lake, once a place of tranquility, now held a sinister secret, a lurking darkness that threatened to consume them all.